Hi there and welcome to The Progress Point. The Progress Point is a show which is designed and structured around the consulting industry across the world. The objective of the show is we interview fascinating leaders from consulting firms, from accounting firms, from all over the world. We understand their journeys, what has made them successful, where they've made mistakes, and what you've got to do to reach the top of your career in the consulting world. So if that sounds interesting for you, the Progress Point could be a place for you to check into. So if you like what you see, please subscribe, like any of the shows, and we would love to see you here. So see you on the next show. Hi Mutaz and welcome to the Progress Point. Thanks a lot for taking your time to come here today.
Thank you so much.
So I'm really excited about the conversation, and so what I wanted to do is just give you a little introduction into who you are,
Sure.
and then sort of dip into like your early days. And I'm really interested. I'm sure the people watching this will be interested in your consulting experience. And what I hope to get from this show is for people to listen, and ideally it's a little bit entertaining,
Sure.
and they might have a few things that they can take with them in their careers, or I think even in their lives. That would be the goal.
Pleasure to be here, Paul. Thank you. Thank
no
you.
worries. Thank you. So, everyone, this is Mutaz. He's been in the consulting world, which is probably one of the most competitive industries in the world, in the Big Four, which is probably the most competitive in the consulting world, for the last 26 years.
27, yeah.
27 years. You started your career in the early stages with EY. Then you went to PwC as a partner.
Sure.
Then you had a little period in-house, which was probably a little bit different to the consulting world,
which was Etihad Airways, yeah.
Etihad. And now you are one of the partners for risk advisory at Deloitte in the Middle East. So
Yes.
quite a journey, 26 years. Not a lot of people last that long and still love what they do.
I'm still here.
You're still here. And yes, I think it's been what a hell of a journey and a lot to learn. But what I'd like to do with our guests is to go back into the early stages in terms of like, who was Mutaz at high school? You know, were you the sports guy? Were you always destined for big things? You know, were you into music? Who were you back in the day?
So in school, I was always different. Like I was actually a very good soccer player.
Okay.
And I thought I'm going to have a career at soccer at one point. So there's an Ahli club in Jordan. They came and they scouted me. I was in the
really?
8th grade. But, you know, my late dad, Allah yarhamah, you know, at that time, you know, in the early 90s, nobody played, there wasn't.
In the region, you mean?
And I was
wasn't
like,
much,
I want to do it. I thought that's going to be me. At the same time, actually, I was really good at numbers.
Right, okay.
I couldn't memorize 2 lines, but I can solve 10 equations. So I realized from the 9th or 10th grade that numbers is something that I really, really like. Like everybody used to skip the math class, but I used to love that. Science used to run away, anything else. So, I mean, I think it runs in my family. My late dad was a PhD in accounting too.
Oh, wow, okay.
But all my siblings, they're not. It's just probably me. So, yes, I was very into sport. I play 3 instruments. I was in the band in college, So I play the guitar, percussions, and the drums. So I at one point, actually, Paul, I thought, you know, at that age, you don't really... it's like now school days, they teach you how to shape your future and what do you want. But in my times, in the early 90s and 80s, I mean, you need to do it yourself. If you do it, somebody else will do it for you.
Yeah, exactly. There was no YouTube wasn't a thing back then, right?
Well, nothing.
Nothing was there.
No
There's no
internet.
social media, nothing.
There was no internet before that. We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell phones.
Yeah.
So when I go out, I mean, my parents used to hope I come back. It's just the only thing. There's no GPS, nothing.
Yeah.
But it was actually, I think at that time you need to be you need to have your inner energy to shape a good future.
Yeah.
So that's it in school. So I decided to study accounting. Went to college, accounting and economics. That was something I was passionate about. And when I graduated, I thought, you know, the best part, because I get bored easily. Like if I can do one job, I'll die. So I thought maybe
In-house isn't it?
in-house. No, I mean, yeah, it's nice. It's well paid, but it's just not me. I like.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So yeah, I joined Ernst and Young, and in 1998.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it's that time there was only accounting and tax, so there's no consulting. There's nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing. And then my career started. If you want me to continue.
Yeah. Well, I was interested in the. So I think it's quite a rare skill to have. Be good at football or want to be a footballer and be good at maths. That combination is probably not.
I know.
Not so common.
Yeah, I didn't. The school principal didn't know what to do with me. I'm very here or there. So,
yeah, and a musician as well. Yeah. So is it electric guitar or is it acoustic?
It was classic.
Classic guitar. Okay. Yeah.
Flamenco.
Yeah, I play guitar as well. But,
oh, cool. We can jam later. Huh?
Yeah, I can't bar chord though. I've been playing for years. I still can't bar chord.
I don't read notes too.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I love it. Yeah, can you sing as well, or
I do.
Okay, what's your go-to song? If you have,
I actually sing in Arabic.
Oh, okay, right.
With the classic guitar, so I go with all songs.
Oh, that's wicked.
Yeah, it's nice.
Has anyone at work heard you?
One time, actually, we had one. It was a training for managers, and at the end, I got my guitar there. I can send you the clip. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, that's a cool skill. Yeah, so that's and probably that. I think to succeed, we'll go into different topics, but to succeed in any endeavor in life, but particularly consulting world, where it's so competitive. I guess a sports mentality and wanting to be the best at sport. Probably did affect. It's probably that wanting to win,
maneuvering, and of course.
Yeah, I think you need that. And then so I guess I know there's probably a lot of maybe people listening to this who are just going through high school. Maybe they live in the kingdom, or they're in the Middle East. And I think the dilemma is there's so many great industry opportunities. Maybe at the public sector they can go into, which might have a lot of security, might have high salaries. Yeah. The consulting world is different, and it brings a different dimension.
Absolutely.
But I guess you're probably at that stage as well, where I could go in here and work in this in-house company. It's nice and secure. But
absolutely.
Yeah. So what was your decision, and what if someone's in a similar position that they're not really sure what they do? What would be the factors they need to think about?
I think every individual is unique of what he wants to be.
Yeah.
So if you're not a dreamer.
Yeah.
And you're not ambitious, just go to you have a secure
just
job.
Have an easy time.
Yeah. And some people are like that.
Yeah.
But if you really dream big,
yeah,
and you want to be something who adds value to the society, to companies, you definitely go to the consulting world.
Yeah.
It's not easy, Paul, at all. It's not easy at all.
No.
There's a lot of bumps in it. But and I'll tell you a little story about how things, a simple decision could change your life.
Yeah.
So I was in Riyadh in audit, yeah. So 6 months later, actually 1 year later, my brother's friend used to work with a construction chemical company called Fosa. It's an international company.
Yeah.
And he said, Mutaz, why don't you join me? It's been 1 year accounting. Who does auditing anyways?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what is it? He said, you're going to be a salesman. Mm-hmm. You have a good personality. I think you can do it.
Yeah, you could, for sure.
And then we're going to give you a Camry. Now, back in 1999, if somebody tells you he's going to give you a Toyota Camry, it's like giving you kryptonite,
Yeah.
I keep dreaming about that Camry.
Yeah.
And I actually went, and I did. He gave me a book. He said you should just read it and just go to the manager. He would like you. Mm-hmm. So I started reading about adhesives and stuff. And I'm not an engineer, not at all. Like I have nothing to do with it. But the Camry
made sense.
The Camry makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you how I changed mentality afterwards. And they accepted me, yeah. So they said, yeah, we'll take you. And then I thought, you know what? At that time, actually, my late dad was in a financial crunch. Mm-hmm. So my main decision was always to be up in consulting. Mm-hmm. But I thought maybe, it's double the salary. Camry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll help
It's
my
hard
dad a little bit because,
yeah.
you know, he took all his... We left Saudi for a family issue, and then we went to Jordan, opened 4 or 5 businesses, and we lost almost our lavish life just like vanished.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what, I'll do 2 years with a Camry, I'll enjoy it, I'll come back to consulting, who cares?
Yeah. And how old were you at this stage?
I was 21.
21. Okay.
22.
Yeah.
I was
okay,
22,
right.
yeah. So I went to my supervisor and I said, listen, I'm going to resign. And he said, don't do, why? You're great. I mean, I said, what do you mean, Graham? Just 1 year. He said, no, I can tell you're going to have. I said, dude, they're going to give me a Camry.
Yeah.
And it was like,
can you compete with that?
yeah, imagine like Camry was the thing right there. It was new. And then I received a call from our managing partner.
Oh, wow.
For the office. His name is Abdelaziz Salim. He's the CEO of the Middle East now. He's the whole firm and Ernst & Young managing partner.
Yeah.
He said, Mutaz, can I have a word with you? And I said, who's this? And he said, Abdelaziz Salim. And at that time, Paul, it's not like now, you know, partners were like aliens. You don't see them.
You don't,
you just see a glimpse of it.
You hear about them.
Yeah,
but you don't.
So I went to his office and he said, Mutaz, I heard you're resigning. And that moment, the attention that he gave me, and I've been only for 1.5 years, something like that. And he said a word I will never forget. He said, I will not let you go. And I said, why, Mr. Abizi? He said, you're a partner material.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an increment backdated. You just stay with me. I want you.
And that was after only 1 year in?
Maybe 14 months or something.
Yeah.
I was just going to be a senior auditor.
Yeah.
And I went to my office. I put a post-it note that day. I said, partner in 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I still have it, the post-it. That little thing changed my whole life. I'm here because of somebody who just took 5 minutes of his time for a good talent.
Yeah.
So I continue.
It is those. Sometimes it's a little thing. Sometimes you think it's a big, and sometimes it is the big decisions. But it can be just that one
little thing.
Just one person believing in you.
Absolutely.
And that changes everything. And and you've probably done that to other people as well.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you later what.
I want to go into that.
Yeah.
But actually, I've got a friend who actually he's also in risk, but he's another Big Four.
Yeah.
And he was in the partner program, and he got a coach. So I've got a friend who's like a performance development coach.
Yeah.
And he didn't really believe in like manifestation, or it's the partner the guy who's now partner was trying to be. But he said, no, it's really important, you know, that the law of attraction is going to bring this stuff to you.
Yeah, of course.
So he said, write down 100 reasons why you deserve to be a partner and why you want to be a partner. And it's a very hard exercise. It sounds easy, but 100 reasons. So he wrote down the 100 reasons, and in the morning he'd wake up and he'd go through the 100 reasons why. And I think that just embedding in him that I'm going to be, the mindset, I'm going to be a partner, I'm going to...
You know, that post is not what I put. At that time, I didn't know law of attraction. I didn't see the secret. But it worked. It was just reminded me every day.
It's funny how those things happen. And that manifestation thing, I think, is very helpful.
Absolutely.
And is that another one? Yeah, and there's only a very small percentage of people who get to the top. I think it's like 1 or 2%.
2% almost.
Yeah. And do you think when you look at your how many guys have you got in your broader team now?
I mean, in Deloitte we don't have named people, but I mean we have a pool of resources.
Pool of resources.
So we're over 1,500.
It's a big team. Yeah. And do you think do you have the same sort of not mindset, but can you see someone and go, this girl or guy, they've got what it takes? Can you is it that obvious? Do you think people have it? I know you can develop it and you can bring it out, but
I mean, there is always that. Yes,
yeah.
There's obvious.
Yeah.
And it's not only from manager or director, even from a junior consultant. You can tell this guy is a fighter and he wants it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna have it, because The road to become I didn't make it in 10 years. I made it in 13, which is, it's still, I was the
It's still
youngest
fast.
partner in PwC network.
Yeah.
But the road to get there, it's not about only promotion.
Yeah.
It's how you promote yourself to deserve that. You need to become a partner before they promote you to become a partner.
Yeah.
And people think partners are salesmen and you just go and sell the
Yeah.
projects. It's not.
No.
It's just development. It's just you need to have all sorts of skills to become distinguished, to carry a big team under you, to carry
Yeah.
the client, to give value, to add, to train, to see opportunities. Because listen, I don't believe in something called low performance because
Yeah.
everybody has an edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I always teach my students, find your edge.
Yeah.
You could be really good at business development. You could be really good at talking. You could be really good in math. You could be really good at back office work.
Yeah.
Nobody is a low performer. It's just your expectation of everybody to be the same. That's the biggest mistake you can do as a partner. So in my team, I know the skills of everybody, and I put the task according to whatever they feel, and I give them the support they need. And I think that's part of why people become loyal to you at one
Yeah.
point. So when I moved from Ernst & Young to PwC, all my team just came with me.
Oh, go.
Yeah. And when I moved to Etihad, they all left.
Yeah.
But they're very senior people in the Saudi government right now. So, yeah.
Oh, the people from EY at the start, or the people from?
All of them came in with me,
Yeah.
and then they developed them. When I left to Etihad, all of them actually left to the government.
Oh, wow,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Not one or two stayed
Yeah.
partner materials. They wanted to be.
Right. Okay. And yeah, I mean, we were speaking before now. I got that sense of you. I get the feeling you really have a lot. You care. I think you can't really be in the business as long as you have and still want to do it without really caring about your clients, but also think about your team and want them to develop. And I have the feeling you've got an acute awareness of what that edge is and something that they maybe don't know they've got. And I think that's very powerful when someone sees something in you. When they actually say it, you go, you know what, that is true, but I didn't know it about myself, but you are right. And that confidence can be a game changer.
I'll tell you, so when I was in EY, I grew, okay, so before that, I'll tell you something also that gives an edge. So in 2001, my partner, I used to work in the financial service audit. I was okay in Riyadh, doing the latter. He came to me and he said, listen, Mutaz, we have a new line of service called business risk services. I said, yeah, Gordon, I've heard of. What is that about?
Yeah.
See, I thought he's opening a conversation just to.
Yeah.
He said, well, we have a big project in Jeddah with one of the big groups.
Mm-hmm.
And we promised them we have 2 SMEs on the ground, like subject matter experts. We found one in the UK, and I think, and he was hesitant to tell me. Yeah, so he said, "What do you think if we train you? I think you have that personality.
Yeah.
You need to move cities, and it's a new line of service. It's just 2 years and come back." And I looked at him and said, "Oh yeah, sure."
That was it. No.
And he said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, I'll go." And he said, are you serious? And I said, "Yes, Gordon, I'll go."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why I did that, because that's the edge. You need I always believe fortune rewards the brave. You need to be brave. That's a new opportunity. Get out there, change your scenery. It's just, and maybe that's a character that's not everybody has. Some people are reluctant to change. They don't want to change.
No, they don't like change.
And that change made my progress into promotion so fast because I built a whole team around me in Jeddah. So I moved from Riyadh to Jeddah. And so I'll tell you a story. When I was in Jeddah, I built a big team, so I wanted an assistant. So I got an assistant from Saudi Bridge Bank, it was called that time. Mm-hmm. He wasn't Saudi. He's highly educated, but he didn't, he's not Saudi, he just went into the administration.
Yeah.
So I felt he's good at administration, but he's in the wrong place. So I asked one of my managers, I said, can you take Adnan and just try him out? Yeah.
Yeah.
He came to me, he said, boss, are you serious? I said, yeah, go, man. Do
Try
your
him out
best.
as a consultant.
As a consultant.
As a consultant. He was just an admin person.
He was my secretary, yeah.
Okay.
And my manager came, he said, well, he's actually really good.
Really?
And then I moved him.
Yeah.
And now he actually, a chief audit executive is one of the biggest groups in Jeddah. And he sits on 2 audit committees.
No way.
So that little thing, because you
yeah.
care, changed somebody's life.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to do that.
That's wicked.
And in consulting, by the way, if you don't have that view, you will always, you can become a partner but you will never be other than just a number.
Yeah.
But you need to be visionary. You need to look, and he said a very important word, care. I teach my managers, and I say, don't ask him how do you do, ask him how do you feel.
Yeah.
Ask your team, how do you feel today? Are you okay?
Yeah.
I mean, just be genuinely with them. So I did it with another assistant in PwC. He was also not Saudi, and now he is the head of audit in also other group. In Saudi. So
I think that's quite a rare skill, because it might just be they do like a little. It could be a gesture, or they talk, and you're like, oh, man, this person could probably present, or and they see just something different. I think that is the big difference between, because. A lot about what you do, I guess, and what we do to some extent, it's a lot about solutions. And sometimes the solutions aren't just going to drop on your lap.
No,
you've really got to think. Well, what is? Yeah, and you've got to be a good communicator. You've got to ask questions, but I think you've got to think bigger than almost in some cases than your customers in terms of what's the.
All the cases you have to think bigger than a customer.
Yeah,
you can be, but he will not hire you.
Yeah. And I think but having that, and also the confidence to say, okay, you might run a company that is $1 billion company or more in the kingdom, but actually I've got some valuable stuff to help you direct your businesses, and have the confidence to say, this is where we go. That is actually you've got to be quite brave to have that confidence to say.
This is the key word.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah.
And confidence comes from experience.
Mm-hmm.
From mistakes, from a lot of mistakes. You do mistakes and you fix them, and you do mistakes again, and you fall down and you jump back up.
Yeah.
And when you reach a point, when you're a senior level, that confidence makes it or breaks it. Because when you talk to a multi-billion-dollar company with confidence, he will be assured that you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But if you go hesitant and you start flipping, PowerPoints, it just doesn't work, man.
And do you think that's the difference when you're tendering? I think there was Tony Robbins says, the person who's in control of any situation is the one who's most certain.
Of course.
And I think that so maybe when you're tendering against, you probably come up against the same players, and it probably is those. Who do you believe in the most? Because you've got the partner. I guess some of the product offerings, there's a similarity. I know there's USPs between each one, but it's like,
of course,
I believe that you can deliver this, and that's probably the.
I'll tell you. Once I was doing a presentation to one of the highest authorities in Saudi before Vision 2030. Okay. And I was the 4th one. So KPMG. And then Deloitte, I was in PwC at that. And then Deloitte, and then Ernst & Young, and I was the last one. Everybody had presentations, put it up. So I thought, I went in at the table, and there was executives. I said, gentlemen, I can do a presentation. It's going to be similar to the 3 before. It's just different colors. We're orange, they're blue. Yeah. But I can talk to you, and I have a team with me that can tell you what experience I can put at the table. Yeah. And let's have a conversation. I know what you need. I've done this before, here and there. And this is the value I'm going to add. And I brought a big team with me. Most of them are Saudis.
And didn't no one else bring the team? They just had the big.
They had the big boss,
PowerPoint
so I had a team. Yeah, okay. So I want you to be comfortable. These are national, very highly trained Saudis. Yeah. And yeah, and I won the job because, as you said, when I left Etihad Airways, I joined Deloitte. I'm very happy actually because culturally Deloitte has maybe one of the best cultures in the consulting world, and it's known in the market. We have a great culture.
Yeah.
Everybody supports you, and it's just phenomenal experience. But anyways, I went in. I had a tender again against all of them. It was a Teams call, and the client wanted something that's not doable, in my view.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he wants to build the whole thing from zero to hero. And all the other consultants, they were like trying to, upsize the scope because for them it's more money.
Yeah. More.
And I was silent. And he said, and Deloitte, please. And I said, I'm sorry, but I was a chief risk and compliance officer in one of the biggest organizations, and I built the ERM function, and that doesn't work. You should take it in stages because you cannot. He said, no, but this is the scope we have. I said, I know that's that scope you have.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, you're going to pay big bucks for something you're not going to get used to. He said, well, this is the scope we agreed with our committee. It's either you propose or not. I said, sure, no problem. So I went back, told to my manager who was on the call, I said, propose this. He said, oh, boss, it's not like the RFP. I said, just listen to me. Just tell them why we're proposing this only. I know it's 1/10 of probably the quote.
Yeah.
But this is the right thing, yeah?
Yeah.
He said, boss, we're going to get disqualified. I said, don't worry. Even if we get disqualified, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I taught that manager immediately that it's not always what you think is the biggest for the firm, or just think about the client. Yeah?
Yeah.
So we submitted the thing I think it's right. So 3 days later, or a week actually, my phone rang and the CFO is calling me from that entity. It's actually in Dubai. And first thing he said, who are you? Because I was new to the market. I was before a consultant in Saudi. I said, I'm Mutaz. I work with the Deloitte. I'm a risk advisor. And he said, I'm very interested to have a cup of coffee with you. Can you? I said, yeah, sure. So I went, drove to Dubai, and he came and he said, I'm just curious to know, all the other three, they just gave the full scope. And you were very shy? I said, no, absolutely not. I was very confident of what I said. That's the key message.
Yeah, yeah.
And he said, convince me. I said, because 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
It's not about. I told him, it's better for me to give you the full thing, anyways.
Yeah.
But you will not benefit from it. And he gave me the job on my scope. And later on, became a bigger account than the original scope because he trusts me now as an advisor, not as a consultant.
That's it.
Because you said a very key word. I care about what I deliver.
Yeah, that's it. And I think if you want to have a reputation and leave a legacy, and have long-lasting relationships, it's so easy to go for the quick win, particularly when you've got pressure on the revenue. You've got to bring in numbers. I can see the temptation for someone to go, this isn't right for the customer, but let's just do it anyway. But they're probably not going to. Yeah, they're not going to last.
Short term.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to build it up, man.
You need to build it up, and the money will come.
It's a domino effect. If you just become a trusted advisor, it's just everybody will work with you.
Yeah, exactly. And also if you do that, there might be other parts. They go, okay, Mutaz did a great job here. We've got this huge consulting area somewhere else, and you introduce someone there. So
absolutely,
I think you can't underestimate the power of just doing the right thing.
Doing the right thing.
As opposed to trying to drive the numbers, which ironically, if you do the right thing, you still got to be commercial. You got to be astute.
Of course, yeah.
You can't. We're not. It's not a non-profit, but if you do the right things well, over long term, I think you're going to win.
Absolutely, they will. I still have people call me from my Ernst & Young days.
Yeah.
For advice.
That's a long time ago you left.
Yeah. For advice in governance. I worked in governance 20 years ago. I started.
Yeah.
I was actually a faculty member in the Board of Directors Institute, the GCC.
Yeah.
I like governance because it gives value.
Yeah.
It's just, and they still call me, and I like it. I like become their number one dial if they have an issue they want to think about.
Yeah, that's great. And the yes, I think it's a fascinating career, but there is, like you mentioned before, there is a lot of sacrifice. I think in any endeavor in life, whether it be sport or business or
Absolutely.
fitness, you've got to, you have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And you've got to, but what I'm really interested in, and I like speaking to people like yourself, is I like to speak to partners and people who are successful who are also fit, healthy.
Thank you. I try, man. I try my best.
And have a good family life, and who aren't. I mean, you seem like, if to me for the first time you said you're a partner with all the responsibilities, I would have thought you seem very relaxed and chilled. But as a formula,
it's a choice. It's a choice.
Exactly. Yeah. So is there like a formula? And I guess you've also have to have a supporting family, because if you're saying what you're doing tomorrow, nothing. Actually, we're going to move to Jeddah. What do you mean? Take the family. We're moving schools. Yeah. So you've got to have that support.
Absolutely.
Mechanism.
I have an amazing wife.
Yeah.
And beautiful 4 kids.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Everybody, when I say 4 kids to me, looks at me like I'm diagnosed with something, And these days, it was, what happened?
Yeah.
What are you talking
It's a lot. And running the kids, have they got your mentality? Or
we're very happy,
wives,
but we're broke, but it's okay. I mean, we're happy.
It's expensive. And but have you got like a formula? Because I know we spoke about before, which is, about not eating sugar. I think fasting. Some of the stuff that sounds like, you wouldn't necessarily connect with success in business, but it's all holistic, right? So what's
So if you don't take care of your body, your mind will always be, will not grow.
Yeah.
And it's sometimes difficult. But you need, again, as I told you, you need to have that. Sometimes I go back home around 7 or 8 p.m. And before even, I say hi to my kids, my wife, before even I do anything, put on my shorts and I go cycling for at least 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's a choice. I know somebody says, well, I mean, how can you do it? I mean, you're tired. I said, no, I'm not tired. My brain is tired.
Yeah. It's a state change.
So to say, I think you're absolutely right. You have to have that. I met a lot of partners and senior people whose life is just difficult and they're not healthy. Actually, I was 2 weeks ago. We have a program. So newly promoted managers, we put them to change their mindset. It's a global program,
right? Okay,
I'm the lead facilitator for that program.
Is that the greenhouse program, or is that something separate?
No, greenhouse is something else. That's a separate one. It's just a training internally for Deloitte globally managers to go through this, because as a manager, you really need to change your mindset from delivery into managing a team. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 days, 2 full days.
Right.
And guess who's the best guy to deliver this? I mean, and I asked one of the guys, I mean, what's your, do you want to become a partner? Is that ultimately? He said, no.
Yeah. No.
And I felt like, I said, why? He said, it's unhealthy.
Maybe not the best answer.
I swear to God, I was like, what do you mean? Yeah. He said, no, my partner, if you look at him, he looks 80 years old and he's just 35. I was like, it's his choice.
It's his choice, yeah.
And in consulting, because I travel 2 to 3 times a week, that also adds pressure, the plane, the checking in, checking out. You need to have a very good support in your home, as you said. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, my wife just is my engine.
Yeah.
And my kids are really my battery.
Yeah.
And every time they don't make me feel like if I try, you're going to miss my soccer game or something. Mm-hmm. They say, okay, see you, Dad.
Yeah.
Especially my son, because he doesn't care. My daughter loves me.
Yeah.
You know how the son is. The son is just, no, he doesn't. But the thing is, I've seen, even going out to the career to become a partner, it's not about only Paul staying fit. It's just about your mindset has to change. You need to balance your life. You need to play. You work and play. You have to. in PwC, I was responsible for something called I forgot what it's called, but it's a program where you put in each country to ease the offices and PwC experience it's called.
Okay.
So I was the leader of that in KSA. So guess what I did? It was unconventional at all. So I just bought 2 PlayStations in each office. So we had 3 offices at that time. And I made a campaign called Stay and Play.
Okay.
Because, in the audit season,
It's tough.
and they stay. So we started to make tournaments, virtual FIFA tournaments. It changed the whole... I mean, you used to walk the corridor at 8 p.m. Everybody is about to kill himself. They want to leave. Why I'm here is just... But now he knows there is a tournament at 8:30. And, these young consultants, they like that. They started... And the campaign was Stay and Play.
Yeah.
And the senior partners at that time, what are you doing? I said, just leaving. I'm the leader of that. Trust me. And to be honest... the productivity I'm hearing from the partners, they said, that is brilliant. Although they're just wasting 1 hour, it doesn't matter. It's not I told them, stop saying wasting. They're investing 1 hour.
Yeah.
They're enjoying the time. Let them be.
Yeah. And again, that's thinking differently, because not many people would say, let's bring in some PlayStation time in audit season. And I think that's very fascinating. And so fitness is a part of it. Do you meditate as well? So you intermittent fast? Do you meditate or any mindfulness practices?
Yeah, I sleep early and I wake up
sleep
early.
That's a big one, right? Yeah.
That's a big one.
Do you monitor your sleep with a Whoop strap?
Actually, I wanted to get one, but I think it will maybe make me think about a lot of stuff that I don't need.
Yeah.
My heart rate is going up. Oh shit! No.
It's actually quite interesting to see what happens.
I know my son has. He said, "Baba, look, I had 3 mindful sleeps and 2 hours of whatever." I said, "Okay, what are you going to do with this information?" I'm just curious.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And he looked at me and said, "I don't know. It's just nice to know." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
But I usually wake up at 5:30 or 6.
Yeah.
Maximum.
Yeah.
And it's just 2 hours before people start to
get
it's
going.
not meditating by itself. It's just, I would call it my meditating, because I really clear my mind in the morning.
Yeah.
And when the weather is good, I always drink my coffee outside.
That's beautiful.
And see and when you see the day, just the sun comes out, you feel like you're part of it.
Yeah,
it gives you that energy.
Feeling.
So that's, I'm not a yoga person but this is the thing that I do. I think it makes my day a lot more brighter.
Yeah, it just
and
gets
I have
you
more
ready
time actually.
Yeah, it gets ready for the day. Yeah. And have you got any advice for? I'm getting married this year, and
run.
Yeah, run. Get out before you.
Just run.
But again, the industry I'm in as well as recruiting, so it's quite intense.
Absolutely,
it's late nights.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but do you have any tips for people who want longevity in not just the workplace but marriage, for example? Making sure you have a meal together with the family, or vacations. Do you have block times where you're like, okay, I work hard, but this is my time with the family, or is it so much going on that you're trying to integrate everything at once? If that makes any sense. I
think it does. But if you're trying to make it systematic, it will fail.
Right. Yeah.
You say, look, at 8:00 every Thursday, I'm gonna take my wife to the movies. It will fail.
And we'll enjoy it.
We'll enjoy it. We'll love it. I'm sure she loves it.
Yeah.
Popcorn, honey.
No, exactly.
It's just you have to do it naturally.
Yeah.
So I advise everybody to have it within his heart to have time for his family, because they need them.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I feel like I travel a lot, for example, like 2 weeks I'm outside, I make sure I have at least 4 days in the town where my family lives.
Okay.
Not necessarily taking them to Yas World or just having them. And my kids now are my son is 15, my eldest daughter is 13. And so I started to do these talks with them on a ride in the car. I said, let's have a ride.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to be systematic, it will fail. Just make it natural; it will thrive.
Yeah. But be mindful that it's important.
You have to be mindful. You can't. I know. 4 or maybe more than a handful of partners got divorced because of the job.
Yeah. And again, it's a choice, I guess. Like you said
it's
before.
a choice. Listen, work will never end.
Mm-hmm.
Deadlines will be deadlines. And sometimes you have to be bold with your client. If he says, I want it tomorrow, why?
Yeah. Because they might not even know why they've said tomorrow.
Yeah, they don't know. But because he said, okay, why?
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
You just want to make my life terrible. And you can actually discuss and convince your client, just deadlines. Sometimes they're put just to put pressure on people, and it will affect the quality.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
But again, you need... in my world, family comes first.
Yeah. I think that's the most important thing.
Even like my mom comes... She's on top of hierarchy of my life after my dad passed away. And my brothers, sisters, my wife, and my kids, number one.
Do you get together a lot? Is it like...
we do. But they live. Most of them live in Jordan and
still,
here.
right,
but my brother's here in Dubai, so we get do a lot here and there.
Yeah. And that must have been a bit of a challenging time for you when you were younger, going back to your younger days. And when you're born with, because I got like a scholarship to a private school when I was younger.
Yeah, cool.
So I was very lucky. It was like went from I wouldn't say rough comp, but it was like it wasn't the best.
Public.
And then you go and see this like wealth and lavish lifestyle. I think it's very hard if you've had that lifestyle, and then your family and your mum and they've all had this and suddenly it's gone. It's probably harder than never having it at all and going back to that because they get used to that lifestyle.
I remember there was days in my first career that I couldn't even afford having a meal outside. So I had tuna at the end of the month and a fork.
Yeah,
because of we had that lifestyle, and my dad lost all his money, and I had to support because I didn't want my younger siblings to go to. I went to the best schools.
Yeah,
and my late brother as well. He spends. My late dad, he believed in investing in education, and he's a PhD. He's a.
Yeah.
And it was tough, but I realized, it went by. At that time, it was really because I hate tuna, anyways. But what I meant to say is it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough, but it made me tougher.
That's what I was going to say. It makes you tougher.
Yeah.
You rarely meet a tough person, that's had an easy life.
Never.
Something. And also, I think when you get to like our age, I'm a little bit slightly younger than you, only a few years, but everyone goes through it. It doesn't matter, even if someone has an amazing childhood, I think by the time you get to 40, 45, everyone's been through something pretty intense. No one gets away with it. So sometimes it's better to get that out of the way with when you're younger because you can kind of take it more.
Yeah.
And you've had that resilience. And
Absolutely.
you're kind of tough. And when you're in your like mid-20s, if something at work happens, you go, well, yeah, but actually this is what happened before. So it's not, in the grand scheme, it's nothing. I want to just touch briefly on the, I think what's really fascinating is what's happened in the region in the last 26 years.
Absolutely.
So when you first started your career, there was no Burj Khalifa, there was no all the skyscrapers, I guess, in
Vision
Saudi weren't there.
Women were not driving, nothing was permitted.
Yeah. So, you must have quite a sense of pride to have seen and been part of that transformation. Being part of it, of
course.
Yeah. So what was that like, and how does it feel seeing that development?
I think I've never seen a change that fast in the region as the past 5 years in the world.
Nowhere.
No. And I think this region will certainly become the number one very soon.
Yeah.
Because previously, look at Saudi. It's oil-based country. So they spend. When I grew up in the Eastern Province, everything was just expenditure from the oil.
Mm-hmm.
So no money. There's nothing but oil. So
no tourism, nothing.
So if you have a lot of money and you don't know, I mean, okay, let's give it to my people.
Yeah.
But look at the mentality now. If you go to any organization in Saudi, half of it females, very highly educated.
Yeah.
They speak English very well. Very good.
Yeah.
And the program itself is working.
Yeah.
It really is. And plus, forget about the changes that happens in the region. The changes globally with artificial intelligence, for example.
That's what I was going to ask you. Right?
And technology. I think there is a lot of consultancy in specific will change the way we do consulting.
Yeah.
So in Deloitte, we have our own chat GPT, for example. It's for Deloitte.
Right.
We can ask her whatever, and it's just for us. So Deloitte is a leader in the technology space.
Yeah.
And
we're the biggest in the world, right?
Biggest
the biggest
in the world.
service provider
absolutely.
in the world. Yeah.
And then we really focus on that change.
Mm-hmm.
And we try to change the mindset of doing things normal. Like all our approaches and methodologies now has AI or a technology aspect to it. So because I think in 10 years, even job titles will change.
Yeah.
And a lot of jobs will move.
It's more like outcome related, right?
Outcome related, very fast. If you ask me, you like it? I mean, I at one point I resigned from Ernst & Young and I wanted to go live in the jungle.
Yeah.
Because I felt, this is relaxing but it didn't work anyways. But we have to live in it. We can't.
We can't.
You have to. You have to get on the train.
Yeah.
That will pass, and you'll just stay as put as yourself. You can.
Yeah.
And you need to be on the head of the train. So.
Yeah. Otherwise, you'll miss the whole thing. I mean, there could be
you'll stay back.
Dramatic changes. I was actually speaking to someone who's he's in the financial service. He's like a partner in France. Okay. And he's he's very innovative, and he invests in like small startups.
Oh, nice.
And he thinks, and I don't know if this is true, but he thinks that 50 to 70% of what he does could potentially be automated from the reports,
if not more.
If not more. And then I can imagine that even what we do. I mean, a lot of the stuff we're not embracing it like we should do. We actually probably need a consultant to come in and help us. But yeah, I mean, if you think of that, it's probably going to be, and understanding where you think it's going to go. But I guess it leans more towards people who the client wants a more intimate experience. And if all admin's gone, what else can you do except for be close to the client and add more value than maybe just the risk environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
not just papers. Yeah. But listen, I don't think the human element will always be there.
Yeah, more so.
Which is great now, I think, which is good, that even in universities now, the curriculum has changed. Even the titles of what you study, there's no more economics. It's just digital science or digital. It's not marketing. It's digital marketing. So they're preparing a new generation who comes in.
Yeah.
I remember my son one day. I was like, I like fixing stuff. Like I like it. Dismantle it and put the. Yeah. So I had a nice speaker outside and probably got some moist inside. So start working. So I pull it all off, and I'm trying to put the wires together. It's like a complicated thing.
Yeah.
And my son comes in and he said, "Baba, look, it's on Amazon."
He's missing the point though. You like
yeah. He said, "Shall I order for you?"
Yeah.
I was like, "No, I want to fix this. This is a present from one of my best friends back 10 years ago. I like it."
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, Baba, but it's on Amazon."
Yeah.
So the way he thinks and my kids think is definitely different.
Yeah.
So our clients. So we can see a lot now. The request from the market has changed a little bit.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. How can you automate this? What is the most efficient way of doing that process?
Yeah.
It's not like come build this process. How you can automate?
So like zero-based costing for processes.
Absolutely. So they want to be more efficient. They want to be more automated. A lot of our clients ask, how can we benefit from AI? Because AI could be it's a two-edged sword. It could be against you. It could be with you. Because if you don't use it, somebody else will.
You have to lean in.
Absolutely. Because your competitor probably will use it and he will beat you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we've seen in the market. And I think in the near future as well, we're going to see different products from consulting firms. So now you have strategy, risk advisory, tax, and all that. There's going to be different. I'm sure there are going to be different lines of service right there.
Yeah, like integrated with generative
absolutely
AI,
like Gen AI will be like
with its own
with its own line of service and it connects with everybody. I think the way in Deloitte we changed our storefront, we're preparing for that. Even now risk advisory is part of strategy, risk, and transaction, so it's not only one. Because we knew that the chain will be connected at one point through AI and technology.
It's going to be fascinating.
And
I'm conscious of time as well. I know you haven't got unlimited time here, but so many people want to move to the region. So let's say from the UK, from Germany, literally all over the world. I've got I'm in collaboration with a company I'm involved with called One Hiring. They say a lot of people want to move from Germany to here. It is like the hub. But have you got any advice for people or something they should watch out for if they're moving to the region? Like what should they do? And also, where should they live? So I guess if you're a family person with 4 kids living in
look at me like 4 kids, like this crazy guy.
In Marina might not be, or on the Palm is probably not for you. But then people don't know enough about Saudi yet. But it's a great place to live. Abu Dhabi's really fun. But have you got any just a couple of things to maybe to if they want a career here, what they should do, and to think about where they should go, and
I think first of all, you have to understand where is the opportunity that you fit in.
That you fit into,
and you need to focus on that. And there is a lot now in Saudi other than anywhere else in the region. There's giga projects, there's transformation. Everybody needs a lot of people at any point of time. It is. The issue is, I want to tell everybody that Saudi is not Saudi 10 years ago. Because people used to get scared to go to Saudi. Oh my God. It's very open.
It's probably the safest place you can go.
Safest place.
In the world.
Very, very, very open. A lot of amusement parks, if he has family, compounds. I'm a sea guy, so I would rather have him. If you want to go to Saudi, go to Jeddah.
And the beaches, are they comparable to Abu Dhabi?
Oh, they're better.
No way.
The private beaches there is phenomenal.
Right, I'll have to check that out.
But then it's the Red Sea itself as well. The Gulf, but the Red Sea, you have spearfishing, shark feeding. It's just that it's a different kind of animal there. But anyways, most people live in Riyadh right now. I would say Riyadh I go every week. It's a beautiful city, and they have the connectivity, the metro, a little bit traffic. I get it. People get it because everybody is there. But they have so much going on. So much they have.
And it's not just the giga projects.
No, it's like for infrastructure, for kids, for amusement, for parks
and entertainment.
Boulevard is just unbelievable. And so please, whoever is watching, change your mindset. Saudi is really, really not the Saudi 10 years ago. And it's a cool, very, very cool place.
It's a very cool place. And in fact, I haven't worked in the region and not previously to have dealt with a lot of the businesses in Saudi. Everyone is so friendly. It's very, very courteous and respectful. Very
welcoming, friendly, very safe. Media man sometimes plays the devil.
I think they do.
So, but now I think we realize in the region that's it. So if you look at the social media, will show you the Red Sea, the Maldives, will show you Neom, one of the biggest projects, Gidea. It's the biggest amusement park in the world. It's a city. And even here, like, you know, Yas Island, if you go to Dubai, if it's just, we show the world that this region...
It is setting the standard.
Just avoid August and you'll be fine.
Yeah, August.
You'll melt anywhere here in the region.
It's so hot, yeah. But if you like endurance exercise, just running in the summer is pretty intense.
Absolutely. But just make sure there is a clinic at the end, just in case you lost something, melted down or something.
Exactly. But no, that's cool. Yes, I think you're right. And I saw a YouTube thing on Red Sea Global that looks just awesome. That's so futuristic.
It is.
Cause I thought it'd be like the Maldives, or they're going to try and emulate the Maldives.
No, it's different. It's totally a different concept. Absolutely.
It's so
absolutely.
Cool. But that's great. And then I think just last question before you go.
Sure.
And that's if you to go back to Mutaz in the early stages to where you are now, you've made a lot of mistakes. You've learned a lot of lessons. If you to go back to yourself or someone who's starting their career or in their early stages, what would you do differently, or what advice would you give to yourself, saying, "Hey, watch out for this," or something like that?
Oh, yeah. Good question. Always, I would say, in my career, I had some moments where I doubted it, and it pushed me back a little bit.
Okay.
Of that partner in 10 years.
You thought you might not get there? Or you didn't know if you wanted to get there?
I didn't know if I wanted. I was tired.
Yeah, okay.
So at one point you get, because you're excited about something, but you get tired and you get...
the journey is long.
The journey is long, and is it worth it? Is it not? So that little thing, you need to always say, no, it is, and keep going, because every journey is tiring.
Yeah.
But at one point, I looked at my friends in the industry, they go home at 4.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, maybe I'll have more time to, do something. But it's certainly worth it. And I would do differently also. I would take more challenges.
Yeah.
I took a lot, but I would certainly would have taken 2 or 3 challenges that I pushed away when I got senior enough.
Yeah.
I would have taken them. would benefit me.
Yeah.
And I would tell everybody in the consulting, it is worth it to become a partner. It's not financial only. It is, understand.
Yeah.
It's the self-actualization.
Yeah.
When you become a partner, the market looks at you differently.
Yeah.
You look at yourself differently. It's just a milestone that you would be so proud of yourself when you do it.
Yeah. And I think the life of the partner, you've probably traveled the world, or at least had a lot of exposure to different countries.
Absolutely.
Met people from all different walks of life.
Absolutely.
All different cultures, and just had some awesome fun along the way as well. It's not just been work. And I think it does shape you, that you've got that confidence that because you don't want anything. If something's easy to get, you don't really want it. But once it's tough, and you've got it, it's like it gives you that confidence and that satisfaction again.
And to be honest, for the people early in career, consulting is not only an employer; it's a school.
Yeah,
we teach you every day, and we give you salary for that.
Yeah.
So you actually, if you spend 10 years in consulting and 10 years in the industry, this 2 gentlemen, same background, he will be worth 3 times what that guy is worth.
Yeah, that's it. It's true.
It is. So it's always worth it.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I wouldn't say easy at all. There are things on the way could help.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you see a challenge, take it.
Yeah.
And be brave.
Yeah.
And this bravery will make you stronger.
Yeah.
You'll make mistakes, sure. But it'll make you stronger, it'll make you faster in reaching your point.
And I think with you as the leader, you back your guys. So if they take a risk, you're not going to punish them for failing. Some direction on where it went wrong.
Absolutely.
But they've got to have the management. I think the culture and I think Deloitte is like
this. Yes,
where you have to fail. to develop.
Nobody.
No one's going to you have to take risks.
Look at all these successful people in the
Yeah.
world. They failed so many times.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, Jeff Bezos, everybody.
Yeah.
So you have to take that route. And what's good now that in my days there wasn't these coaching and mentoring, and you have to find it yourself.
Yeah.
But now all consulting firms and strategy houses, they have these programs. They make your life easy.
That's wicked. That's such
That's
a good
really
one.
good
Yeah.
program. Even actually in Deloitte we have mental health programs for, we support people mentally if he thinks
Okay, I thought you said mentor, but mental health.
mental
right,
health.
got you, yeah.
So we have channels for
Yeah.
that if you feel like you're pressured. So it's fascinating when I saw it. I mean, how developed became the firms and looking after the people.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Cool. That's been a really productive, awesome chat. I've learned a lot as well. And I know you're not mega present on social media. I don't think you have X but LinkedIn's where you are most of the time.
Yeah. I mean, it's LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn,
But,
yeah.
I mean, I have Instagram. I never posted nothing. I just,
No.
watch my son's video, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, LinkedIn is my social network.
Yeah.
And I think for me it makes sense because, and I actually reply to people. A lot of they ask for advice, and I actually do reply.
Yeah.
It's not like I delete.
Yeah. And if someone's watching, is it okay for them to connect with you on? If it's, let's say, they work for the Big Four in the UK, and they think, I just want to see what it's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
I reply to everybody who connects with me. I accept all invitations, no matter where it's come from, and I try to help because we have some channels of recruitment, and I know some people want to move here, move there, but I give the time.
Give them, that's great.
I give the time.
Well, Mutaz, thanks a lot for taking the time. It's been awesome.
Thank you so much.
And we'll no doubt see you again in the
Sure. It's a pleasure to be here, man.
Brilliant.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Mutaz.
Thank you.
Cheers. Thank you very much for watching this episode of The Progress Point. If you are interested in the consulting world, we interview fascinating leaders from accounting, management consulting, strategy consulting from all over the world. And this is a place where you can get some practical tips on how to develop your career, also life hacks, productivity hacks, and hopefully it's a little bit entertaining as well. So I hope you enjoyed the episode, and for more, please follow us, and we'll see you next time.